Hey everyone, thank y'all all so much for being here. I am super appreciative of all of y'all. I know we all got our own busy schedules with dance showcase later tonight and classes and exams coming up, so I really appreciate you guys coming. I'm so excited to share with y'all my junior year. Um, Thinking about everything I was writing in this, sometimes I was like, wow, I completely forgot I did that because time flies and I feel like internally I'm like 87 years old and all of this happened so long ago, even though it was actually just a couple months. So I'm excited to let y'all in on what my year looks like. Okay, obviously I'm not majoring or minoring in anything technology related. Right off the bat, can't even click the mouse. But I am a third year top scholar majoring in kinesiology in the health science concentration, wanting to pursue my DPT, Doctorate of Physical Therapy, and I'm also minoring in dance, if you did not know. As for my future aspirations, like I said, I hope to one day be a physical therapist, specifically in the pediatric and neurology setting. Just like my mom, I wonder where I got that inspiration from. And also, if you didn't know this about me, I love dance, and my biggest dream for dance is being a professional NFL cheerleader. So, some dream teams I listed are Miami Dolphins, the Las Vegas Raiderettes, and of course, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And then something else about me, I'm a huge family, friends, cats, and fun person. I would not be up here today if it weren't for everyone in this room. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys. And unfortunately, two people who couldn't be here who are very dear to my heart are my cats. Maybelline and Milo, they're my children. They're both from the streets and now they snuggle in bed with me. Um, One thing about cats too, I'm a huge cat person, and Megan, my roommate, is not. And so maybe next year at this time, at my last end of year report, I'll be able to share some good news that hopefully she likes cats. I first wanted to start off with not necessarily my junior year, but something I did last summer in 2025. I studied abroad, which leading up to the study abroad, I think I spent like 100 hours on the UTSA portal looking for a program that fit my needs. I knew with my love for Palm and my schedule for PT school, I couldn't really go a semester abroad. So I wanted to find something in the summer. And then I needed to find something like healthcare, something that I felt like was relevant to me. So after hours and hours of researching, I stumbled upon a program in Ireland. And it was at the University College Dublin. It was for 2 weeks, and I was taking a course all about healthcare and how it relates across the globe and how you can be an equitable healthcare professional yourself. And while I was there, I did Medicaid research, and I actually wrote a 14-page paper on Medicaid under the current administration policies and how, as a future healthcare professional myself, I can make sure I not only am an equitable healthcare provider, but also making sure that everyone is being provided with the needs that they deserve. That's something that's really big for me, is just making sure anyone who needs help is able to get that help. And then last but not least, I put fun, fun, and more fun. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, before I left, I was so nervous. I have never even stepped out of the country before, let alone all by myself, not even on a UTSA led trip. And so I waved goodbye to my mom at the airport, hopped on the plane, sat next to some random strangers, created some small talk, and automatically was making new friends along this journey. I had to include this picture in the bottom, I guess y'all's right corner. So this is a bag of chips and a sandwich. But let me tell you, this was the most transformative meal I've ever eaten in my whole entire life. I think I ate this bag of chips and sandwich at least like 12 times, and my trip was 14 days. So it was a very, very life-changing opportunity, not only from the food, but also just getting to explore healthcare, equitable practices, another part of the world I had never been, make new friends. Still to this day, I still talk to my friends I met on the trip. And overall, I just have such a memorable experience, and I'm so grateful that Top Scholar provided me with this opportunity. Now tying in to one of the pillars that we look at in Top Scholar is knowledge and academic accomplishments. So throughout the course of this year, I maintained my 3.98 GPA, took 8 courses in the fall, 7 courses in the spring, 6 of those being upper division courses. Pictured here at the bottom, don't worry, this was all performed with consent, is an extremely red back and some taped up knees. And to a typical eye, you're probably like, girl, what did you do? Like, go take a nap wrong? Like, I can't tell what's going on there. But one of my favorite upper division classes that I took this year was called Therapeutic Modalities, and it's all about types of devices you use in therapy. So I got to do cupping, KT tape, electrical stimulation, ultrasound. We actually even practiced fire cupping too, where you take like a cotton ball, ignite it, have the negative pressure in the cup, put it to the skin. So if anyone ever needs some fire cupping, you know where to come. But overall, I've really enjoyed getting to start taking classes that I'm actually passionate about. No offense to chemistry and physics, but with these classes, I truly can see myself going into the occupation that I have always wanted to. Alongside that, I also completed all my honors graduation requirements with the completion of my CSH course. I took the Arts and Politics of Wandering with Dr. Richardson. And if you don't know me, I love walking. I take my 10K steps very religiously. My mom and my boyfriend can attest that if it's 11 p.m. and I still have 1,000 more steps, I need to go get my steps. So that class was really, really fun, not only because I love walking, but also just a class that wasn't really in my curriculum that allowed me to explore different areas of interest. Some honors experiences I completed were studying abroad, my group fitness instructor position, reader grader position, and athletics tutor, which I'll touch on a bit later. And then I also was a fall 2025 ELF winner in the category of professional development for my group fitness instruction. Something else I was awarded this year that really meant a lot to me was being awarded the Spirit of San Antonio. And I am a very spirited person myself. And with this award, it was awarded to me through Spirit of San Antonio, which is the marching band here. And it's given to around 4 people out of the 500 plus band who the director really feels just exemplifies what it means to be a member of the Spirit of San Antonio. And I was actually the first ever Palm individual to get that award. So here I am pictured. I was super honored, especially just, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm in my little orange and I look like a Cheeto, just like the rest of the 500 band members. So it was really exciting to get to carry on that legacy for one more year, hopefully, with these pending auditions. And then another exciting thing is that I got accepted into a summer 2026 kinesiology study abroad, which I'll talk about later. And one of the best things was completing my GRE. I hate standardized testing, so this was like a big check off the box in terms of PT school applications. So I was really, really excited to study for that all fall semester and winter break, take it, happy with my score, and just ready to move on. Next, I wanted to talk about my professional development and leadership opportunities. So as mentioned before, I've been on the UTSA dance team for 3 years, 2 of those being a captain of the team, or a student staff, as we like to call them, because it's a great reminder that not only are you a member of this program, but you also are a student. I've also maintained my membership with the UTSA Pre-PT Student Organization. And like I said, some new things I added this past year was group fitness instructor, kinesiology reader grader, and athletics tutor. So with my group fitness instructor, I actually used enrichment funding to get my certification in personal training and group fitness instruction. And with that, that allowed me to now teach classes at the rec. So self-advertise. If you ever want to get a good sweat, feel the burn, you can come to my Pilates Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and I'll be happy to share my expertise with you. But on the other side of things, this job really has been extremely rewarding. I think I've learned so much in terms of just what it means to serve your community and serve everyone in the community. Something I will never forget is I had my whole plan in my head of what I was going to do for my class, and someone walked in with no arms, and immediately right off the bat, I was like, okay, half of my exercises are not going to work for this individual. And so I just had to think, okay, how am I going to make him feel just as included as the rest of the class? And so I did. I remodified all of my exercises to allow him to participate as well. And then he ultimately ended up becoming a regular in my class and just always complimented how fun and engaging this class was for him, especially as someone who often had trouble feeling like they fit in. So this experience has been super transformative for me, and it's something that I hope to continue in the future, even as like a side hustle. Maybe I will be 80 doing like the water Zumba or something like that, and y'all can obviously come to that as well. Kinesiology reader grader, that was actually approached to me by the head of the kinesiology department, Dr. Burroughs. I took his strength and conditioning class last semester, and he wanted to know if I wanted to do that position this semester. And what it entails is grading like 100 hours of workout videos for students alongside just answering questions throughout the year. And not only has that been like a great resume enricher, but it's taught me a lot about time management, because an hour-long video is an hour-long video. You can't like, oh, I'm just going to do it quick, I'm going to do it slow. So it's really taught me how to balance in my calendar. Whenever those videos are due, I like write down the hours that I'm going to work on it, and the exact minutes. So that's been really fun as well. And last but not least, athletics tutoring. So that was also something new to me this past fall semester. Once again, one of my professors approached me saying, hey, they need a spot for an athletics tutor in kinesiology. I think you would be great. So I applied, I got it, and now I've been able to help specifically student athletes in the realm of any kinesiology class. I meet with these students once a week, every single week, including finals week, and am able to just help them out with their studies and help them feel more confident in their classes, which is something that's really important to me because I love learning, but I know that's not the case for everyone. And being able to tie these concepts into their sport is something that's been huge. I think everyone can like learning if you just approach it the right way. And one of my favorite memories of that is one of my students coming in, and I didn't even say anything to him. He just said, I passed my exam, and he was so excited. And it's like, okay, I'm doing my job, first of all. And second of all, I'm helping like the confidence of these students, both inside and outside of the classroom. Something else with my professional development I participated in this past year was my continued ASD research with Dr. Park. So I've been involved in a research lab since my first semester freshman year with Dr. Oyama and Dr. Park, and it's all about autism spectrum disorder and specifically the biomechanics and motor learning patterns associated with typically developing children and kids on the autism spectrum disorder. And so wanting to go into pediatrics, this has been a very influential lab to be in, as I get to kind of analyze these kids' behaviors hands-on and through video analysis and understand a little bit more of why these children with ASD aren't typically developing and what we can do as healthcare practitioners to help them live a life that they should be able to live. As I mentioned before, I participated in the 2025 Fall ELF presentation and then was later asked by Honors College to be an ELF presentation mentor. So I was able to go to a few Honors College events and help some first-time ELF presenters out, which is always really big to me to be able to give back to not only the general community, but also UTSA in specific and Honors College, just because Honors College has done so much for me. So I feel like it's only right for me to serve in any capacity that I can. So that was really, really fun. And then I also was a high school dance assistant. So with my current coach, as well as my high school coach, I went to some local high schools in the areas, helping them clean their routines, get ready for competitions. And as I mentioned before, dance is a huge part of my life. So being able to continue that has been nice. And then I'm talking way too much. So PT shadowing, I did school, inpatient, and outpatient settings. I'm going to speed run through this. Some community involvement. I've been volunteering with Christus Santa Rosa Outpatient Rehab Center and Children's Hospital. Something really cool I got to do was participate in a casting clinic. I had about like 6 different casts on my legs throughout the whole entire day, which was really fun. And something I always like doing is being the pumpkin fairy, where I gather pumpkins, send them to the clinic, and after treatment, kids can pick one out. I also continued my volunteer work with Kinetic Kids this past year. For the past 2 years, I've been helping them with their competitive cheer organization. And then lots and lots of top scholar opportunities from Diploma Dash, Satellite Center, Gardopia, Adopt a Spot, which I will say I'm continuing Jose's tradition of getting a donut after every Adopt a Spot. The Ronald McDonald House Whataburger Resource Room, where Artie and I organized probably like over 100 eggs. I feel like I smelled like an egg at the end, but it was really, really fun. And then just with UTSA Palm, some community events I've gotten to do are kids clinics, prep clinics, local parades and performances, UTSA events, going to a Spurs game, which was really, really cool, and then participating in the Fiesta Parade. And then something I'm doing this Saturday is I was asked by Dr. Park to represent the kinesiology department at the Viva Science SA Fair. And then what's my summer gonna look like? Like I mentioned, I am studying abroad in South Korea for 2 weeks right after finals. I'm counting down the days. And it's actually the first ever kinesiology study abroad. It's with my lab PI, Dr. Park, and it's going to be all about technological advancements in sports medicine PT. So I'm very excited to be able to implement what I learn on this trip to my profession that I hope to one day become. Also, very exciting news. We through UTSA Palm for the first time ever are going to Pro Action Dance, which is a huge convention in Las Vegas where we get to dance with professional NFL, NBA dancers, coaches, and so aspiring to one day be a professional sports entertainment dancer. I'm once again super excited for this opportunity. Tying in with my DPT path, I will be applying this summer, so I'll be finalizing all my essays, hours, and letters alongside getting some final shadowing hours in home health, the MAC gym, which specifically works with the autistic population, and then the Satellite Center, which if you didn't know, it's therapy on horseback. So I'm super excited to see that. I will also be continuing my position as the kinesiology reader grader from my strength and conditioning class. We'll be participating in all my Palm Squad obligations of student staff camp if I once again get accepted, Palm Camp, band camp, etc. It's always something new. And then I'm also very excited, as always, to meet the new tops. I don't even want to think about this as like the last freshman class that I'm going to be here for. It sounds so weird saying that, but I'm so excited to get to know every single one of them and hopefully help leave a lasting legacy through my position as Assistant Executive Director for TSSO Board. There's already a lot of things in my Amazon cart that I'm hoping to be able to share with the whole entire program. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm really excited to work alongside one of my best friends, Ricky. We actually sat at the same table for selection. So it's crazy that this is like full evolution. We go from being scared to eating the salad to like now helping give back to this program. So I'm really excited for that. Of course, family vacations in Aruba and Florida, and then enjoying my last true summer. Wrapping it up super quick. Some things that I learned this year is to never be afraid to try something new. Specifically, I thought of Ireland when I did this because I was so scared and I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this. And now I think about it every single day and I'm just so grateful for what the program allowed me to do. I also have embraced new opportunities. I think of all the jobs that I took on, and at first I was like, am I gonna be able to juggle all this? This seems too much. But it's those opportunities that really allowed me to grow and flourish this year that I think in past years, I had like my typical experiences, but doing something outside of what I've done before really allowed me to not only have a new perspective on school and my future, but also myself. And then last but not least, I have cherished every moment. I think I've ended all of my end of year reports by saying, I can't believe I'm standing up here and that next year really will be my last one. So that's even weirder to start thinking about. But I've truly learned, whether it be watching my cats grow up, watching how fast football season goes by in dance, making all the development in my research lab, hanging out with my friends Wednesday nights for Texas Roadhouse or wherever we decide to go, that life really does fly by in the blink of an eye. And so I really want to just cherish every last moment of my last upcoming year in undergrad. But with that being said, thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate you all being here today. Hopefully you got to see just a little glimpse of what my year looks like. I could talk about all this stuff forever, and just my gratitude, not only for Top Scholar, Honors College, UTSA, my friends, my family, but just for being given all of these opportunities that, like I said, have really allowed me to stand here today and present to you guys. So I really appreciate you all, and thank you so much for coming.
Maddie, I'll go first and say it's great to see all that you're doing. It's so easy to forget how much you're doing until we are in a setting like this. And I was just reflecting back on your first year and sort of the, kind of things that I said at the end of that. And your growth over these last couple of years has just been so tremendous. And I don't know how you juggle it all, but it's really incredible to see. And thanks for all that you give back to the program, really. And I'm excited to have you sitting in that, more senior leadership position this yeah.
We are so excited to see what comes next in this upcoming year, in your summer, right? And if it's anything like what you've accomplished thus far in your time in this program and this year and this semester, we're excited because it means that good things are on the horizon. I mentioned this in an earlier presentation, and I mention it now, but when I hear of all the things you're doing, you are handling it with the maturity and with the grace that these different various things demand, right? Because what you're doing pulls in from a little bit of everywhere. So we're just really inspired. And when we look for top scholars for our top scholar program, we want people that are going to be passionate about the program, but also being a member of honors, right? And being a member of the UTSA community. And we see so much of that in you. So job well done.
By the way, fire cupping seems very, very scary.
Oh,
even
it was.
Someone who's qualified.
Not me.
Pretty adventurous. Probably going to pass on that one.
Yeah. Yes, me too, for sure.
Do we have comments from others in the room?
So, she puts all this stuff up here like it's so easy and, it just all kind of fits together so easily. And it's funny over these last 3 years, I get the phone call all the time. I have this new opportunity. Do you think I can do it? And I'm like, yes, you can. But I don't know how she's going to make it work, and you make it work so seamlessly. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you fit everything in a 24-hour day. But I speak for our whole family that we're super proud of you. We know that you're doing great things.
Well, part of being able to do that is having a built-in advisor, mentor, clinician that I look up to, best friend, momager. I'm trying to think of all the other titles, but like I said, and I just want to reiterate that all of this is able to be completed with my awesome mom and the rest of my family. Thank you, Mother.
I'll go next. I'm so proud of you, Maddie. Seeing you grow from last year to now, truly seeing the behind the scenes is what I really appreciate. Maddie wakes up at 6 a.m. I don't know how she does it every day, and goes to bed pretty late too. And she literally makes every hour count no matter what. And going off of that, she comes back to the dorm and she asks me oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna add this. And I'm I don't know how you have time for all this, but you do you. And she does it all with all of her efforts. And I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so excited to see what you do next year.
Thank you, Megan. And even though you hate cats, I appreciate you listening to me talk about them.
I'll go. I'm super grateful for you and our friendship, and it's crazy to think that we sat at the same table at selection, like you said, and now we're going to be seniors, people that everyone looks up to. So it's weird, but I'm glad I get to do that with you, and next to you, and I'm excited to see where you end up with PT school and all the things. And I hope you have fun traveling this summer.
You too, Mr. Ireland. I'm so excited for you. I already told him about the sandwich and chips.
I'll go. I feel like you're over here doing all this crazy stuff, this after this after this, and anytime I'm like talking to you and I'm like with my 12 hours classes. Yeah, I'm just like everything is stressing me out, da, 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 and you're always like so like thoughtful and like helping me like go through all of it. Meanwhile, like you really got a lot going on, and you still like make the time to like help me through things that are like nothing compared to all of this, you know?
So I appreciate both of y'all's friendship. This is Mallory and Amy to introduce my worlds. They're on Palm with me, and we actually all made it as rookies together. So yes, I really appreciate you guys, and y'all keep me going with these 6 a.m. practices and stuff like that. So I really appreciate it.